I'm not sure I've ever been more shocked at the end of an episode of any kind of television than I was at the end of The Chair Company this week. In terms of being surprised by something, I don't think it's ever happened to me quite this way before. Why is Jessica already laughing? I guess
it was so funny, but so shocking.
It's
Can we
obscene.
do spoilers on the show? Please.
Well, okay. Give it. Well,
I mean, I'd like to watch, but it's fine.
Look, I've already probably ruined it by saying it's as shocked as I've ever been.
You know what, Dan?
I'll let you know, Mike, when to come back. I'd like to leave too, but I don't really have that option.
What are we doing?
You can leave.
This is the way I'll put it, right? To say it's shocking makes people think of a certain, like a cliffhanger or something.
There's a twist.
Like Chris is holding his ears and saying la 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 because he doesn't want to hear, the killer is actually me or whatever. No, it's so off kilter.
You would never expect it.
Nothing. In a million years, if I gave you a million guesses, you couldn't possibly guess how that episode ended, and yet it was so hilarious. I laughed so hard.
Moments before the scene, Mike, I was watching in the afternoon yesterday. Moments before my kids came in the room.
Okay, just let me slow I don't want to spoil this, but Jessica, please continue with the understanding that we don't want to ruin this any more than I already have for the audience.
We won't spoil it. Let's say it doesn't have a lot to do with the actual plot and what will happen in the next episode. I'm assuming, although you never really know with Tim Robinson, it was a shocking final scene to an episode. And I posted this on my Instagram story. I don't think this is a spoiler.
Did you post it?
No, well, not that. I posted an article about the scene that we're talking about on my Instagram story from Forbes that says, can the Chair Company do that? Like, can they do that?
That's
Are they
what I
allowed
thought.
to do that? So that was my takeaway was, so I guess they filmed this for the show. This isn't some other film
it's not
that
real.
they inserted
Can
a
Mike
clip
come back?
into.
It's
All right, come
not
on back,
it's,
Mike. You're good.
it was yes, the show created that scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't aggregated from somewhere else.
I'm assuming that's the case.
Yes,
I
that's
don't think
absolutely
the
the case.
creators have confirmed it, but they haven't really talked about it yet. So
I'm gonna guess by the way the dialogue went that yes. It's the crazy thing is Tim Robinson has a certain brand of humor. If you've watched Detroiters, if you've watched I Think You Should Leave, you get or Friendship. You get a good vibe.
Friendship was my first introduction. I haven't seen the other stuff.
Okay, so you get a vibe for what his humor is like. And this show, I think, falls within those bounds. This end scene was so far out of bounds from his typical humor lane that I thought it was hilarious, but also I was shocked. It's just so shocking, but also hilarious.
I was waiting for a Muppet to show up.
Adam McKay
And then
is
I was like, whoa.
part of the production of
hyper
that,
object.
and I just think he's testing all licensing and government boundaries at this point, that he's gone fully off of the deep end and just creatively is making whatever the hell he wants and daring someone to stop him.
He has gone off the deep end.
HBO had to be cool with it.
Right, like how did he explain that to HBO before they handed in that episode?
You can't watch it on an airplane, clearly.
No, the crazy thing, just sorry to cut you off, but think about this. This is a type of show that I would say, yeah, absolutely you could watch the show on an airplane because it's mostly Tim Robinson doing faces and using his voice and stuff like that. And so to have that was just like, maybe not on a plane.
Can we also say that there's a scene? Yeah, we're not going to spoil it. There's a scene midway through the show where there becomes like a chase sequence that feels very A24, and it was so stressful but also so low stakes because the show is obviously like a comedy, but I was still like sweating while I was watching it. It just is incredible that he's able to do this. I feel like Safdie brothers found dead in a ditch. Tim Robinson has now surpassed them in terms of creating thriller content in video form.
It's what makes the show brilliant is that it's shot and the score and everything about it is a spy thriller. But it is clearly a comedy.
So dumb.
But if you're not paying attention, if you were like washing the dishes and doing your taxes or whatever, and you had it in the background, you think it's just like The Americans or a show like that.
I love it.
Moving on to other college football things, I want to start here with Zaslow was saying yesterday, I haven't heard a whole lot of people who are down on Gus Johnson, but then I heard Mike Valenti, and I've not heard the entirety of this sound, but someone in Detroit who is named Mike Valenti, who is a broadcaster, is very critical here of Gus Johnson, and what I guess he's saying, I would assume that the enthusiasm that Gus shows, sometimes people think it's contrived instead of authentic. That's the greatest objection I've heard to him. What does Mike Valenti have to say?
Can we say that maybe we need to give Gus Johnson a cup of tea or something before he makes these calls?
Can we say that a network executive needs to sit him down and go, here's the deal, you putz. You're not the storyline. The game is. That was such a fake response. He didn't lose his damn voice. He faked it. He's fake. His whole existence is fake. He sits here acting like, oh, U of D. Man, ain't nobody seen you at U of D Jesuit. Shut up, you. Guy's nothing but a charlatan. What a fake-ass call. He ruins everything he touches.
He lost his voice.
No, he didn't. He's a fake.
Well, no, I think he did because every play on that drive was, oh my God.
Because he's
Gus,
fake.
They aren't all that great of a play.
Right. So now, when the moment is the moment, you've cried wolf so many times, none of us can be bothered. He ruined the moment. He ruins everything. What? Somebody else say something.
It's not much for me to say. You said it all.
I don't dislike him. I hate him. He ruins everything.
It's kind of hating from outside the club, right?
I feel like he's doing the same thing. He's the radio host who cried wolf. Why is he getting so upset over this? The next time something even worse happens, I'm not going to believe him because he got so excited about Gus Johnson's call.
Dan, everybody knows this guy. He's like, man, it's probably whack in there anyway, man.
Probably sucks. For real.
Yeah, no, man, that's who's hating, man. Who doesn't like Gus Johnson?
Zaz.
You don't like Gus Johnson?
But he doesn't like football, though. I mean, let's be honest.
That's true.
No,
You don't?
That game-winning call, Gus Johnson sounds the same as a great catch in the first quarter. Doesn't do it for me. Layup in the first half in the NCAA tournament sounds the same as the buzzer beater at the end of the game, March Madness. Like he does. I don't enjoy him on the call.
You know what Zaz is doing?
Hating from outside the club.
Exactly.
This is the thing, though. Zaz knows what real enthusiasm sounds like, and it sounds like this.
I like that guy.
We can all agree, right? I don't even know who you were talking about. Do you know who you were talking about there?
I think it was Norman Powell because I really like Norman Powell these days. I like that guy.
I thought you were going to play Tony Romo's sound from last week and say that's what real enthusiasm sounds like.
No, it was Andrew Wiggins. When he's not your main scorer, as your main scorer, you don't like him, but as your fourth scorer.
I like that guy. That's true.
Sure.
When you watch what's happening at LSU, can someone please explain to me the buyout money situation? Because I read some quotes in a CNN article from anonymous boosters saying, hey, that money's make-believe. We don't actually have that money. We've got to go get that money. So explain to me what's happening with the buyout.
Yeah, so Dan Wetzel wrote a story for ESPN a couple nights ago that apparently LSU is taking the stance that they never actually terminated Brian Kelly because now they're trying to fire him for cause to avoid paying the full $54 million buyout. And they informed Brian Kelly of this on Monday. So Brian Kelly's representatives, I believe, presented a court filing saying that that wasn't true and that they have, since his alleged firing, I suppose, they've tried to reach a settlement over the buyout, which is sort of common that, you know, he would settle for a number that would make sense and get the money up front rather than installments. And then that would also negate the offsetting money element if he does get another job, but they weren't able to reach a settlement. So this is basically LSU just trying to get out of paying the $54 million, it seems like, and maybe potentially bring up some things that they claim would make Brian Kelly look bad or maybe damage his reputation in the process. That's sort of like me alleging, like, if they really want to get messy with it or not, because it does seem like, you know, both sides sign the contract. You owe him the money, so you should probably have to pay him the money.
It's a very curious approach, too, when you're trying to hire high-profile coaches that are watching you go to litigation over the last guy that you hired. Wait, if I sign a contract with you, I'm not going to get all my money? This is a 5-star job And LSU, since firing Brian Kelly, has done every possible thing to make this look like a circus. You would have thought they would have been prepared to meet the moment, but they are actually making this job unappealing.
That can't be. That can't be right.
No, this can't be the approach when you have representatives of the universities saying when you have governors getting involved saying
I think their brand's taking a big hit.
When Donald Trump may have influence over your head coaching search according to local officials, this whole thing has turned into such a mess. Meanwhile, Auburn, who had that reputation, is they got together. They're clean. They have alignment.
Yeah, the governor's press conference, I think, did damage, but was okay, we can look past that because he's just trying to make a point. He's a politician and he wants brownie points for being the one who let go of this expensive head coach. But then his comments about these college football contracts being too expensive, which personally I agree with. I think 10-year long, $100 million contracts are bad business for colleges, but that's not something that you say when you want to attract a head coach who wants to earn that kind of salary, obviously. So then the firing of the athletic director, which there's another long Ross Dellinger article in Yahoo about the power struggle between them and how they didn't really get along. That does sort of make them look bad too. And then they promoted the interim athletic director and then seemed like they wanted to take that back too. And then they were like, no, he is the athletic director. So there's been a lot of drama involved. And then I think this Brian Kelly contract thing is the most recent piece of drama where for once it seems like a lot of people are on Brian Kelly's side and they're like, LSU should probably just pay him the money. We don't like the guy, but you do owe him the money.
Jessica, Mike mentioned Auburn, and that reminded me that Tommy Tuberville said that New York City will be Muslim in 3 to 4 years. And I
yes,
just want
that's
to know,
true.
Have you taken your Shahada yet, and do you need any mosque recommendations?
I would, yeah. We can offline about this if you want. I would love that.
I think it would be better if we did it online because there are a lot of people in New York who are like, well, going to be Muslim. I might as well throw myself into it.
The unlucky
You could help a lot of people.
Let's online about it then. Give me your recs.
Well, there's one on 92nd Street that I think is remarkable. It's great access to the subways. You've got the great food carts right across the street. What is that?
I'm writing this down.
Oh, you're right. Oh, she's typing. Dan likes this bit a lot, I can tell.
But one last thing on the LSU job search. Say you're Lane Kiffin, who's had, a checkered past. He's been fired on a tarmac before. There have been burning mattresses in his wake. He's watching what's happening with Brian Kelly as he's got basically the entire world available to him, and he's like, "Wait a second, you're not paying your head coach? What? That is certainly a drawback when you're evaluating jobs when you're a top line guy like Lane Kiffin right now."
Yeah, but I mean, that is what the lawyers are for, and that's what the money is for. I still think money talks. I don't think, I know I said that this was all sort of embarrassing. I don't know how embarrassing it really is. Like you said, Mike, there's so many marquee jobs open in this coaching cycle that coaches will be able to choose between different schools. But if you look at a situation like Florida, is their administration in a much better place than LSU's from a organizational standpoint? That seems to have been a big issue over the last few years for Florida. Honestly, yeah, this is why you pay the lawyers a lot of money. It seems like Brian Kelly thinks he's going to win his case and get the buyout money. So I guess that's why you pay them big bucks.
Jess, what stood out to you with the college football playoff last night?
I have a lot of thoughts about this week's rankings versus last week's, where I was kind of yawn. There wasn't that much that I think stood out. I think the committee is probably hoping that the ACC and the Big 12 just kind of work themselves out, because it's very complicated right now that you have Miami as the highest ranked ACC team, but they are almost certainly boxed out of the ACC championship game, which, by the way, I still think there's a path there. I think the ACC is dumb enough that something extremely chaotic could happen at the end of the season.
Mike and I were talking earlier. Mike thinks it's a nuclear option that maybe the ACC champion doesn't even make the playoff.
Yeah, there's a common misnomer.
We talked about that last year too, Mike. I remember we were talking about the
Big 12.
Yeah.
Yes. They take the 5 highest ranked conference champions.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what conference.
Right now, they kind of set the table for USF, and James Madison could be ranked higher than a Duke team that has 4 losses but somehow finds its way. Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. I think overall pretty good that Miami's just in that conversation. There's still some curious things over there. They're doing this with the SEC again. Like Vanderbilt's had a very good season, very good quarterback, but why is Vanderbilt ranked where they're at? Like what have they done this season? Like truly, who's their best win? They're 0-2 against ranked teams.
So you're arguing that Vanderbilt should be lower because I've seen SEC fans argue that Vanderbilt should be higher. So this is very funny.
No,
so
which is not surprising. But they haven't done anything. Utah and Vanderbilt's position in particular are very confusing to me.
Let's discuss this because this is one of the interesting things as someone who is a fan of a football team that's not in a conference. I have like 0 conference allegiance. I couldn't care less how many SEC teams or Big Ten teams or ACC teams get in. It just doesn't matter to me. I don't have like conference brain, but I see fans of other schools who are in conferences cheer for the conference to try to prop up their school, and I understand why and how all of that works, obviously. But Vanderbilt is, depending on where you stand on this one, is an interesting case because they have 2 losses, quote unquote good losses, to Alabama and Texas. And the Texas game in particular was pretty close. Both games were close, but the Texas game in particular was very close. But if you look at their wins, South Carolina, which was like their big win at the beginning of the season, they've had a really bad season. Missouri's quarterback got hurt during the Vanderbilt game. LSU, of course, fired their head coach. We just talked about Auburn also fired their head coach. So they don't have like a marquee win in the conference, even though when the season started, it was like, wow, can Vanderbilt get to 6-6? Can they make a bowl game? Wow, can they make the SEC championship game? But like they've beaten a bunch of teams in the SEC that I think we can all agree aren't great teams. I mean, if you fired your head coach, I think you have to admit it's not a great football team. But I've seen arguments that like why is Vanderbilt behind Notre Dame? Notre Dame has 2 losses as well. And I mean, I think the obvious thing is that Notre Dame beat USC, and that USC win is being propped up as, Notre Dame's best win so far. So, yeah, Mike, I think that's funny that you could take a team like Vanderbilt and look at either side of the argument. Utah, briefly, I do want to also mention because they have 2 losses. They lost to BYU earlier this season, and they lost to Texas Tech. But they did beat Cincinnati and Arizona Sims. Arizona
that's
State,
right.
But Sims was playing.
They were Arizona Sims at the point. They beat Arizona State with their backup quarterback. Their one good win is Cincinnati right now. I don't understand how the argument for Utah.
You have to be particularly heartbroken because the stat from Gabby Urrutia was that Urrutia, disculpa. The stat from the University of Miami is that they've lost 4 games in the last 2 years by a combined 18 points, the most at SMU in overtime, and you're not going to make the playoffs either year. In a year that has 2 losses all over the place.
For me, again, as always, for Miami, the toughest hurdle for them to clear is to go through the month of December without losing again. I think that they have a really good argument. When you look at the top 35 teams are really good. When you look at top 25 wins, it will be patently absurd if Notre Dame finishes ahead of Miami in the rankings, given that they went head-to-head, but we don't need to have that conversation because Miami has to beat 3 teams.
Let me just I agree. Like, I do think that, like, a lot of times we argue in the beginning of November, and then by the end of the season, like, Alabama loses to Oklahoma, and a lot of it works itself out. So I do think a lot of it is the amount of vitriol that the committee gets for like the first 2 weeks of rankings is like, okay, guys, like they've got to put some teams somewhere. Let's all take a deep breath. But the Louisville thing is interesting, Mike, because I know like you probably don't want to talk about this, but Louisville has overtime losses to Virginia and Cal. We know Virginia's at the top of the ACC conference, and Cal is not. Cal is, I think, a 4-loss team right now. They have a freshman quarterback, but they're still, I guess, feisty. They're okay. They lost to San Diego State earlier this year, who's one of the better teams in the Mountain West. They lost to Duke and Virginia, who are obviously very good, and they also lost to Virginia Tech, who also fired their head coach. So Louisville's losses, like one is totally, I think, quote-unquote good loss. One is much worse loss, but they have a head-to-head win over Miami, and they're still ranked behind Miami. So I guess like the circular logic here is like, if you think that Louisville, or if you think Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame, that would mean Notre Dame's probably like a 12 to 15th ranked team. Miami's probably a top 10 team, but Louisville has a top 10 win over Miami. Then shouldn't Louisville also, by that logic, be ahead of Miami?
Yeah, well, I would say that if all things are in a vacuum, Louisville should probably be ranked the highest there. But the committee has shown us in previous years when it was a smaller tournament that they also take injuries into account. Isaac Brown is a huge injury for Louisville. He dominated Miami. He's a home run threat. So I don't think Louisville's actually going to go through the rest of the season clean because of that injury.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's where it's like, okay, it will probably work itself out, but we can have the argument before conference championship weekend if there is still a fine line between 10-2 teams in the same conference that haven't played each other, which is why giant conferences are stupid, and we shouldn't have done that. And at the very bare minimum, should have kept the divisions, because then we'd at least have more teams playing against each other, like in similar opponents in the same pod.
But at least there's not a Big Ten private capital, deal that's moving forward without Michigan and USC or anything. We're out of time. The weekly Notre Dame podcast is called Echoes. It's with Mike Golick Jr. Zaslow, you know about the special guest this week? You know about Jessica's got a special guest today.
I'll go learn.
Got a special guest this week. What are you giving us there, Jessica?
What do you know about the former transportation secretary and mayor of South Bend?
I don't know that fool.
Mayor Pete?
Okay.
You don't know Pete Buttigieg?
Oh, he did that?
Okay, very good.
I don't know his resume. Whatever, man. Do you know my resume?
The Echoes with Mike Golick Jr. With Jessica and Mike. What are you doing? What's the matter with you? I thought you'd know about that.
I don't.
All right, Jessica, thank you.
I didn't, to be fair. Bye.
Channing Frye next. He's an NBA champion. He's a 14-year veteran of the league, an analyst for NBA TV. You can catch Handles as the co-host of NBA.com. Handles is the show and also the podcast, The Road Trippin' Show. Channing Frye is with us, and there's a number of basketball issues to talk about. But what do you find more interesting? If I put in front of you all of the following, I say the gambling scandal, I say the Pablo Kawhi stuff, or I say Nico and Luka. When I say headlines in the NBA, which is the most interesting to you right now, Channing?
I think it's obviously the Nico and Luka thing. I think because I don't know all the details and just hearing things from guys like Shams, who definitely got the scoop more than most people. It's just interesting for a player to be moved of his caliber, and no one else is getting the blame for that. I think that's a team decision. And so for me, I was always like, there's no way you can move a guy like that. And then all of a sudden now Nico's taking the blame for it. I think if he brought up that idea, I think there are a lot of GMs that bring up ideas. It's a matter of who's okaying it. So for me, I'm just interested to see how that plays out. But, hey, it's when you look at the Dallas Mavericks, I don't think on paper they are that bad. They're just injury prone. But expectations at the beginning of the year were huge, and they just can't kick that thing in the ocean right now. So something had to happen.
Channing, how would you feel if you played for the Mavericks and they traded Luka Doncic? You had just gone to the finals a few months earlier.
Man, listen, I probably would think, what did they know that I didn't know, or are we getting ready to blow this up? Honestly, I just think, when you have older vets, right? Remember, like when Boston traded KG to the Nets, right? You would go, okay, I understand. It's time to move on. We've won. They're getting a little bit older. What is he, 25, 26? You're trading him. You're right. For me, you'd have to have a conversation if possible of like, what was your thinking behind this? Like, we've got to the pinnacle. It's hard enough with homegrown guys to get there and to do what he was doing. I just don't know those details. So the decision was made, and now you look at them and damn, the Lakers are looking disgustingly nice this year. They're winning tough games. They're playing a different style of basketball than they have in the last few years. So it's going to be interesting.
How often in your career over 14 years have you thought my management team is totally incompetent?
Zero. Who has a management team? I'm Channing Frye. Listen, I thought
I meant your
meant
teams. Yes, your team's management is whatever it is people thought of Nico seems to have been confirmed 8 months later, where the players are like, "What are we doing?"
Right. I mean, but the thing is he can't make shots for them, right? I mean, listen, you got the number 1 pick. Right. And he's playing out of position. It's hard enough to go to the league. If you're a 6'3" guard and you've been a 6'3" guard since you were in 7th grade and now you're in the league, you're playing your position. This guy was a forward and now you're playing him at point guard. You're going to take lumps early. Clay's getting off to a slow start. PJ, I think they're 29 out of 30 offensively. And then you have AD coming in a little bit, not as in shape as you would like. Kyrie's hurt. So, to me, I would have given him a little bit more time. I would have given him at least to the break. That's just me. But, they wanted to make change. But you could have anybody there. You could have freaking, Jesus there as GM, and he can't make shots for him. Like, that's just a matter of thing. They make shots.
He would. I think Jesus would be a great
Jesus would make the shots for them.
He's going to let you figure it out yourself, brother. He's going to be like,
that is also true.
Get in the gym.
Would you trade Anthony Davis now and just start over, build around Cooper Flag?
Ooh, that's a great question. Yes, 100%. 100%. I really obviously I like Jason Kidd as a coach. I think he's really good with development of like those kind of tweener wing, bigger kind of guard guys. But yeah, I just think right now, this is the era of homegrown, right? You got your draft pick. You got your number 1 pick. He looks like a great piece to start with. You have good vets. I'd move off of some of these guys, keep Derek Lively. Move off some of these older guys and start over. Like, you look at some of the best teams in the league other than the Lakers, they are homegrown teams, and they just add those pieces when it's time, like a la Houston. But they got their draft pick. They have the right kind of guys. Now it's time to really develop that culture in Dallas again. Reinvent yourself.
Well, but speaking of moving off of old guys, the oldest one in the league plays or hasn't played this season for the Lakers. Zaslow has some opinions on LeBron.
I've never heard of sciatica. I've never heard of that, Channing.
Well, you never played golf before, so I know that. Listen, every time I play golf, my back got sciatica all day long.
That injury at that age with the way the Lakers are playing, how awkward is the return of LeBron James?
I don't think it's going to be that awkward. I think, that's the hot topic. I know we were just on road trip and we had brought it up yesterday, and a lot of people didn't agree with what Kendrick said or what I'm saying is, I think at LeBron at this age, basically he said, hey, LeBron needs to come in and allow Luka and AR to be the 1-2 punch, and he fits in where he fits in. And I think when he said that, I think people thought he's just going to be the guy to run to the corner. That's not what we're saying. I'm saying Luka is great at what he's doing. Austin Reeves is having a career year, right? He's progressing as you would want. LeBron has the ability to play the 4 position, to play the 3, to play the point. And so we're saying just fill in those gaps at a high level of where those other guys don't. Be complimentary to them, because that's the way they've been winning so far. We're not saying anything about the playoffs, right? That's a different thing.
Channing, you've played with this human being. Like, I understand he's a smart
10 years ago. That was 10 years ago.
He is as smart as anyone who's played the game. If Carmelo's going to object to coming off the Lakers bench, LeBron's going to object to, what do you mean my usage rate is let's grow Austin Reeves?
Listen, I'm telling you right now, and LeBron's my guy. He's as smart as he is. He's seeing the game. He's seeing the pace that the Lakers are playing. He's seeing the culture that this is not LeBron's team. This is Luka's team. I don't know there's nothing.
Channing, he's LeBron James. Do I need to explain to this? Listen, I need to explain this to you publicly?
He's LeBron James. I understand he's LeBron James. And this is what I'm saying. When you have a guy like LeBron James, you could ask him, and JJ, obviously they have a great relationship. They could go to film and say, okay, this is where we need you tonight. This is where we need you tonight. And he can be elite at that. But no matter who that is, 41 is 41 or 40, or however old he is. To me, I'm just like, he could be great at whatever position they need. They don't need him to score 25, 30 points a game. That's just a fact.
That's what he's
been. If you don't want to hear that, you don't want to hear that.
But it's what he's been doing for 23 years. You're asking him to be a plumber.
A plumber? No.
You're asking him to be the Lakers' third option.
Okay, so Andre Iguodala was the Golden State Warriors' third option, and
He's
got
LeBron James.
MVP.
He's LeBron James.
I'm saying, listen, just because you yelled does not make it right. Okay, look, LeBron can fit in anywhere to make this team even that much better. We're not saying, hey, LeBron, we don't need 2016 LeBron. We don't need 2018 LeBron. Also, it's the regular season. Now, during the playoffs, that's different. Now we may need you to go ahead and sprint, old guy. Okay, now we may need 100% of whatever you got. But during the regular season, AR and Luka, this is their time to really develop and get better. Because if Austin Reeves does not have this confidence going into the playoffs, they don't have a chance anyways after what we saw last year. So he's made these progressions. He's learning. He's playing a better style of basketball. Luka came in shape. They're being serious. And LeBron trusts him. If you ever watch those playoff series, LeBron trusts AR. He obviously trusts Luka. So when he comes in there, he doesn't need to do everything. And I don't remember the last time he's had two guys, maybe I do, that he could legit trust like that with the basketball. Right? Maybe I do.
Channing, what did you make of Draymond Green questioning some players' agenda on the Warriors? And do you think he was talking about Steph?
No, I don't think he's talking about Steph, man. Listen, don't bite the hand that feeds you. All right. And then I think secondly, Draymond is a no frills kind of guy. I think when you look at the Golden State Warriors with Jimmy, they feel like they have to feel like they have a chance if they could get it together. I don't know, but I would assume the only guy that's ever been talked about that does not fit within that realm of what the Golden State Warriors do is Kuminga. I am just assuming, right? So what he's saying is, I've told it to you in the locker room, probably. Now I'm going to say it publicly so that now there's more attention on this. They want to win. They don't care about anyone individually. They care about the Golden State Warriors winning. And if you win, everyone gets taken care of. How many more years do you think Steph has, or Jimmy, or even Draymond? And they need Kuminga to be at his best for them to win games. And if he's not buying in, then hey, I wouldn't personally do it, but that's Draymond, and you got to respect it. He does not pull his punches for anybody, including his teammates.
Give me the guy you played against, if there was any in your career or your path anywhere, where you felt, however it is that Wemby must make people feel, where you're a giant, you've always been a giant, and you're like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with
Man, I'm
what
going to tell
this
you
is
two names, and everyone's going to tell you this. It's Shaq and Yao. Like, imagine me trying to stop an F-150 in a diesel truck. Like, I was 230 at that time, and this dude was 300, and I was trying my hardest to stop him move anywhere, and he just literally just picked me up like I pick up this phone and moved me out the way. I couldn't imagine him in his prime. It was just like, again, he's breaking machines. He's ruining the equipment. And so what does Lil O Channing have to do? And Yao was so big. One time he shot it, and I promise you his elbow hit me in my nose. And I was like, wait, what the? I'm 7 foot, and you're hitting me on the way up. I was like, Coach, why am I guarding this dude? And that's why I started shooting threes. I saw Shaq and Yao. I said, nah, this ain't me. This ain't me, brother.
Channing, you, Richard Jefferson, Kevin Love, rank them as teammates. Not as players, but as teammates.
Oh, I'm the best teammate. That's by far. Richard's the last because he'd be talking a lot, and then Kevin's second. But yeah, Kevin got a great charcuterie board, throws a great dinner. He's a great teammate. Richard, I don't know what he brings to the table.
That's a good thing to say about a friend. He puts together a great charcuterie board.
Great artisanal honey. Oh my goodness, this boy does not skimp on the artisanal board.
Who puts the worst dinner together?
Ooh. Oh, man, that's a good question. Probably Richard, because he ducks out before the bill.
That is brutal to just hit someone on the way out with that slice.
Yeah, Richard's like, I got to go take a call. And the next thing you know, he's like, all right, sorry, guys, I'm going to bed.
Seen it in New York, of all places.
Oh, yeah, he will slide out on you.
What did you make of Cade Cunningham missing 31 shots the other night?
Hey, yo. Oh, my goodness. Listen, I took 28 shots one time because we only had 7 people playing basketball. I thought my arm was going to fall off, right? I cannot imagine, right? And I'm a shooter, so I just need to let me shoot 1 a quarter, okay? I understand if you're hot. 45 shots is beyond me. Now, congrats, they got the win. But, man, you're not having me do cardio like old Tony Snell, just running up and down the court. I mean,
Tony Snell, man.
Whoa.
Tony Snell at home.
Tony
Like,
Snell.
ooh, Channing's on Le Batard Show.
no
This should
shots.
be good.
You're doing cardio. I'll be hot. But Detroit is a grimy team, and Cade felt, I mean, they were playing the Wizards. No offense to the Wizards, but offense to the Wizards.
Yeah.
They're playing the Wizards, and he wanted to get that 50 ball. So, he had to try to do whatever he had to do. But, hey, good for him. I'm not even mad at it.
Has the 40-point game been devalued?
Yes, I would say yes. I think people think it's a lot easier than what it is, but there are so many great offensive players that could do it when they get hot. It's unbelievable. The offense is so much further than the defense right now in basketball. It's kind of wild.
Has the 50-point game been devalued?
No, getting 50 is still kind of crazy. I just think when a guy like, Austin Reeves gets 50, we're like, what? Austin Reeves gets 50. And then you see how good he is. You're like, oh, okay, like Austin Reeves got 50. But, hey, even my back in the day, Corey Brewer got 55 one time, so did Andre Miller.
That's why LeBron's taking a back seat.
Dan, he's been going to that example for over a decade. He keeps going. Channing, for some reason, the Corey Brewer 50-point game.
It was the craziest 50 ever. He was just driving, man. Dude, I love Corey Brewer as a teammate. Good dude. That dude, I was like, how? How?
Oh, we're doing
Malachi Flynn would like a word.
Willie Burton.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He's LeBron James. He's not going to just come back and stand in a corner.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying stand in a corner. But I'm saying you're telling me you can't ask Austin Reeves to go play a wing or go play a forward and screen and roll. You can't ask him to do that. You can ask LeBron to do that, and he could do that at an elite level and your team win. This is what I'm saying.
Channing, what's up with some merch, man? Some free wine, something, man. Let me get the quarter zip, something.
Don't
man.
text me. I mean,
don't do it.
You
almost did it. You almost did it. You can't do that one anymore, man. That's been retired forever.
He's the founder of Chosen Family Wines, I should say.
Yeah,
Yes.
just text me. Text me. I got you. I got you.
I had a nickname that Channing gave me back in the day that at the time was
used to
funny.
wear the coolest glasses.
No,
Yeah.
it was
boy.
one time. One time I'm on the road trip. I said, I'm going to put on these sunglasses. Channing was like, oh, look at a mean Diddy here. And then for the rest for the rest of time, the entire team was just like, I mean Diddy, because I wore sunglasses once on the road trip.
You wore sunglasses inside.
It was a plane. It's bright inside the plane.
Oh, we were laughing so hard. We were like, look at this cool guy. Look at this cool guy.
Dan, you know about that, Diddy?
Can you believe it, folks? We're already halfway through the football season. For many, it's been a frustrating football season, especially those who are fans of the pro team down here. But for others, you have that away trip that was really special. You celebrated, you commiserated, and hopefully you did it all with Miller Lite. That's right, because Miller time makes football time a special time. Game days, they just hit different with a Miller Lite in your hand. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to fantasy heartbreaks, it's the beer that is there for every moment. 50 years of great taste, simple ingredients, and that iconic golden color you can spot from across the room. And here's the kicker, folks. It's just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. The original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. So whatever your game day experience looks like, remember, Miller time is always a good time. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that sells beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
All right, so apparently, look, Taco Bell's awesome. Everyone loves Taco Bell.
Best.
Taco Bell was a huge go-to, like when I was in college. Give me that gordita, you know what I'm talking about. Jeremy, you tried something brand new at Taco Bell?
The Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie.
What color
Unless
is
they're a sponsor, which
It's a Baja Blast
neon.
color?
Yeah, it's the Baja Blast color. It's like a neon turquoise color, potentially. I would say the closest thing that it tastes like is key lime pie. But it doesn't taste like key lime pie. It tastes like Baja Blast. It tastes like if key lime pie was candy. And I don't know how they did that
Is
in
it
an
fizzy?
actual pie. It's not fizzy. It's just a bunch of gloop is essentially what it is. It's not really like a normal pie. It's
Often
$20.
That's often what pie is.
That is.
Nah,
I'm not a
but
big
not.
pie guy.
It's a
Basically
different type of
pecan
gloop.
pie.
It's a different type of. The texture is. It all feels more artificial than anything I've ever tasted in my life, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
this is a white elephant party, or what was it?
No, it's just a Friendsgiving,
White
and they
people
decided, super white people party. It was a Friendsgiving, and there was just a decision made by the hosts to go, wow, I can't believe that exists. I'm going to go. There were a bunch of other really delicious desserts. There was a pumpkin cheesecake. It was great.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Wait a second. It's what, November 12th today? You've already done Friendsgiving?
Yeah, me too. I did
people have
mine.
busy schedules. You know
I
what
did
I mean?
mine this past
Really?
weekend too.
Dog, I
It
saw
was early.
Someone did Friendsgiving October.
Guys, that's
No.
oh, so you guys want to do it like back to back?
That's
like,
crazy.
You
Canadian?
spread it out.
It was
a little
actually
bit.
closer
perfect.
to Thanksgiving,
No, it was
though.
perfect because now I got to have Thanksgiving food, and I'm not going to be sick of that Thanksgiving food when I get to actual Thanksgiving. So I got to take the leftovers, have some of those, gives me a
Who
gap
gets sick
before
of
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
No,
food?
but if you eat
Thank
too
you.
much of it,
Thank you.
I want to
Attaboy.
enjoy.
No such thing.
I love
No such
Thanksgiving
thing.
food. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
I'll have it 7 nights a week.
Every
No,
night.
you
Yo,
guys are just saying that.
Zaz, you know about that heat turkey dinner?
Oh, that's the,
Oh, it's
best
the
when
best.
they do that. It's the best.
Oh, that media dining. You know, like they're hit or miss over there. But when it's turkey night, woo!
Yup.
It was a real Baja Blast to eat it, though.
right,
I'm out.
Revelation, I do not like key lime pie.
Really?
Yeah, it's not for me.
I think pie in general is the worst of the desserts.
Ooh,
Like if you give me the
pie's so
cake,
good, though.
ice cream, brownie, cookie, like I'm gonna go to pie last.
I'm an ice cream cake guy. I don't like regular cake. I don't eat regular cake. I literally don't eat regular cake. But ice cream cake with the little bullshits in them.
The crunchies?
Yeah.
I think ice cream cake's a little overrated.
a little
You
bullshit.
telling me that you don't like cake?
No, I don't.
This
I don't
is
eat
like
cake.
you saying you're not a soda drinker.
I don't eat cake and I don't drink soda.
You got a cake eater's physique.
Well, maybe it's ice cream cake.
You go diet soda?
No, I don't drink soda. Yeah,
a liar.
Man, you're not gonna catch it. I dare you to find me drinking soda.
How do you explain your body then?
I'm just living my life, man. Just living my life.
Not a Taco Bell.
No, I don't. No.
What do you
not,
eat?
Not a long time. Like I don't eat a lot of fast
Thai
food.
food.
I love Thai food. I don't know if you guys know that. I love Thai food. I love Italian food. I love Sicilian pizza. Oh my God, Sicilian pizza is so good. I don't know if you know that either.
And what about at your age right now? If you had to do fast food for dinner, what drive-through you going?
I like
to?
Wendy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Wendy's. Wendy's fries are my favorite. Give me the number 5 spicy chicken.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
Love that spicy
Obviously, love that. Wendy's is great. That would be my go-to fast food. Is Wendy's.
So you like Wendy's fries over the goated
I think
McDonald's
Wendy's fries are the best. Yep.
You're out of your
Yeah,
mind.
that's
No,
crazy.
man.
You
That's
guys,
crazy.
you ever done this, Tony? Like where you're like, I'm gonna get my fast food from one place, but no fries. Let me stop by McDonald's.
I'm
get
ashamed
the
I've,
fries from
done
there.
it once or
You
twice.
wow, that is such a crisp. I've
Really?
never even done that.
That's
never
a
done that,
college
Chris?
move.
now,
It's college move, yeah.
Very college move.
have I ordered Uber Eats from multiple places? Maybe.
No, you got to go and
fries?
earn it. You got to go and drive to those places to make it feel like you're doing something.
Hold
Instead
on
of,
a second.
Let me Uber Eats 19
Want to
different
earn? I
things.
want to learn.
Hold on a
Exactly right.
second. When you do
What's
the
up?
multiple Uber Eats order, is the same driver picking up from 2 different places?
Now, that has happened to me before, and that is embarrassing. That
Why would-
I don't often feel shame. That one, I'm like, honey, you got to go get this one.
Hold on. I actually would think that's pretty cool if it's the same driver. Now, what would be embarrassing is if it's 2 drivers and they get there at the same time and they're like,
That's
this
embarrassing.
is awkward,
You're like,
guys.
this is for Chris? And you're like, yeah. You're like, oh.
I've also had that dilemma before where my wife orders something and I'm like, all right, I'll have a side from there, but I don't really want that, so I'm gonna. So we have 2 cars and I have
And they're doing the Spider-Man meme when they get out.
and I'm
right?
tracking both of them. I'm like, man, we need this one to hit a red light or else they're gonna get here at the same time.
You ever order the liquor via Uber Eats?
No.
Of course.
I love that. I love that.
Love it.
I feel a little bit ashamed where my wife's like, what did you order? I'm like, yeah, I just got this bottle of Jack. I don't know. It makes me feel a little bit like an alcoholic.
And then all of a sudden the Uber Eats driver is now like checking my ID.
Yeah, you gotta give it ID.
It's all about volume. You can't order just a bottle. You got to go a bottle and then a 6-pack of this and like some
mixer.
chasers. Yep. So that's a whole order.
That's my bust.
Dutches.
That's my bust.
You're a sucker.